Melania Trump, a name you know, but how much of her story do you really understand? From a tiny industrial town in Slovenia to the White House, she's lived a life of transformation. But is it a fairy tale or a tragedy? Behind the designer clothes and poised public image lies a world of sacrifice, scandals, and secrets. Was she a victim of circumstance or a quiet force navigating one of the most scrutinized roles in the world? From accusations of plagiarism to the infamous "I don't care" jacket, her journey has been filled with controversy, but there's so much more to Melania Trump than the headlines. This is the untold story of Melania Trump, an immigrant who reached unimaginable heights but paid a price most of us could never imagine. Her journey begins here, in a small Slovenian town where her dreams took root. Before she was Melania Trump, she was Melania Navs, a small-town girl from Sevnica, Slovenia, a place surrounded by factory smoke and modest apartment blocks. Born in 1970 under communist Yugoslavia, her early life was shaped by discipline and determination. Her father, Viktor Navs, was a car salesman and a loyal member of the League of Communists, while her mother, Amaligia, worked tirelessly as a pattern maker in a textile factory. They were hardworking parents who instilled ambition in their children, offering Melania and her sister, Inez, a stable upbringing that was rare for the time. But even as a young girl, Melania dreamed of something more. Friends and family recalled her talking about escaping Sevnica, longing for a life far from the shadow of factory chimneys. According to one childhood friend, she always wanted to be where the action was. Her first taste of that ambition came through fashion. Inspired by her mother's work, young Melania began designing and sewing her own clothes. By the age of 16, she was scouted by a photographer in Slovenia's capital, a meeting that would forever change the course of her life. From there, her modeling career began to take shape. She moved to the capital city to attend the prestigious secondary school for design and photography. Commuting hours by train every day, it was hard work, but for Melania, it was the first step toward freedom. By her late teens, she was traveling Europe, landing jobs in Milan and Paris, far from the small industrial town where her journey began. She even changed her name to Melania Nos, a decision that marked her transition from a local dreamer to an international model. But leaving Sevnica behind wasn't just a career move, it was a statement. Melania was determined to rewrite her story, no matter the cost. And for a girl from a small town in Slovenia, the world was finally opening up. By her early 20s, Melania Nos had transformed from a small-town girl into a rising star in Europe's modeling scene. With her striking features and disciplined work ethic, she began making a name for herself in Milan and Paris, two of the fashion world's biggest stages. But even in the glamorous world of European fashion, Melania faced challenges. Modeling wasn't just about talent, it was a cutthroat industry, and she was determined to stand out. She traveled tirelessly, building her portfolio and taking jobs that would inch her closer to her ultimate goal. That goal came in focus in 1996, when she took a leap of faith and moved to New York City, a bold move for a 26-year-old model. It was a time when most models were considered too old by industry standards, but Melania wasn't one to back down from a challenge. In New York, Melania faced the harsh realities of the American modeling industry. She was no longer the rising star from Europe, but one of many models trying to make it big. She shared an apartment with a photographer and lived a disciplined life, avoiding the partying and distractions that often consumed others in her field. Her persistence paid off when she landed a Times Square billboard campaign for Camel cigarettes, a major milestone that set her apart from her competition. It was a testament to her resilience and ability to find unique opportunities, even in a tough market. By the late 1990s, she began crossing paths with New York's elite socialites, entrepreneurs, and celebrities. And in 1998, her life would change forever at a party during New York Fashion Week. It was there at the Kit Kat Club that Melania met Donald Trump. A billionaire businessman with a reputation as a playboy, he was also 24 years older than her and married at the time. Despite his larger-than-life persona, Melania held her ground, refusing to give him her number and asking for his instead. Her confidence and independence made a lasting impression. As their relationship blossomed, Melania found herself in a new world, one of immense wealth and overindulgence. But even as she entered the spotlight, she stayed focused on her own ambitions, continuing to work as a model and build her identity in America. For Melania, moving to New York wasn't just about modeling, it was about redefining herself. She had also left behind her small-town roots and risen to a life she once only dreamed of. Little did she know this was just the beginning of her journey into the global spotlight. By the early 2000s, Melania was not just Donald Trump's girlfriend. She was a fixture in New York's high society, from red carpet events to exclusive galas. She was by his side, blending her reserved elegance with his larger-than-life persona. Their relationship wasn't without challenges. Melania reportedly kept her own apartment during the early years of their romance, maintaining a sense of independence, something she still does today. She also faced public scrutiny, especially after appearing in a provocative British GQ photo shoot in 2000, a decision she later called one of her greatest achievements. In 2004, Donald proposed to Melania on her birthday with a massive 15-carat diamond ring. The following year, they married in an extravagant ceremony at the Episcopal Church of Bethesda by the Sea in Palm Beach, Florida. The reception at Mar-a-Lago was a star-studded event, with Melania wearing a $200,000 Christian Dior gown that made headlines worldwide. Just a year later, in 2006, Melania gave birth to their son, Barron. Becoming a mother marked a new chapter in her life, and she devoted herself to raising him, with nannies of course, stepping back from her modeling career to focus on her family. Despite their outwardly glamorous life, their marriage was often the subject of public speculation. From rumors of infidelity to their seemingly distant interactions, the media painted a picture of a relationship marked by both power and strain. But Melania rarely addressed the rumors. Instead, she maintained her composure, choosing to support her husband publicly while staying focused on her own role as a mother and wife. By marrying Donald Trump, Melania had stepped into a world of power, privilege, and controversy. She had achieved a life of luxury beyond her wildest dreams. But the price of that life was only beginning to unfold. When Donald Trump announced his candidacy for president in 2015, Melania Trump found herself thrust into the political spotlight. As the potential First Lady, she faced immediate scrutiny, from her rare public appearances to her carefully chosen words. Her first major controversy came at the 2016 Republican National Convention, where parts of her speech were found to be strikingly similar, like exactly copied from Michelle Obama's 2008 address. The media erupted, accusing her of plagiarism. While the campaign downplayed the issue, it was a difficult start to her journey as a political figure. In January 2017, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 45th President of the United States, making Melania the First Lady. But unlike her predecessors, she didn't immediately move into the White House. Instead, she chose to stay in New York with her son, Barron, until he finished his school year, a decision that sparked widespread speculation about the state of their marriage. Once she officially moved into the White House, Melania embraced her role with her own unique style. She launched the Be Best campaign, claiming to focus on children's well-being, anti-cyberbullying, and opioid awareness. Despite her efforts, the initiative faced criticism, with many accusing her of hypocrisy due to Donald Trump's own behavior on social media. Then came one of her most infamous moments, the "I don't really care, do you?" jacket. Worn during a visit to a migrant detention center, it caused, understandably, a huge uproar. People saw it as callous, while Melania later claimed it was aimed at the media, not the children. But the damage was done, and the incident became a defining moment of her tenure. Throughout her time as First Lady, Melania maintained a low profile compared to her predecessors. She rarely gave interviews or made public statements, choosing instead to focus on her family and her projects. Behind the scenes, she dealt with health challenges, including a kidney embolization in 2018, which kept her out of the public eye for weeks. Melania also faced intense scrutiny over her relationship with Donald Trump, from rumors of infidelity to her often distant demeanor at public events. The media frequently speculated about the true nature of their marriage. But Melania never publicly addressed these rumors, choosing silence. Her time in the White House was anything but traditional. While previous first ladies often thrived in the role, Melania's tenure was marked by controversy, mystery, and a determination to chart her own path. As the world watched, she navigated the pressures of being first lady in her own understated way. For Melania, the White House wasn't just a home, it was a stage, a battleground, and a test of resilience. And while her time there ended in 2021, the legacy of her first ladyship continues to spark debate. Behind the glamour of public appearances, Melania Trump lived a life far more private than many imagined. Even as the First Lady, she preferred the seclusion of her family quarters, rarely seen in the East Wing offices traditionally occupied by her predecessors. Her devotion to her son Barron was central to her life. Melania was known as a fiercely protective mother, ensuring he was shielded from the relentless scrutiny of the media. Staff members in the White House often referred to her as the protector, a role she embraced wholeheartedly. But her relationships with her stepchildren were far more complex. Melania was often at odds with Ivanka Trump, Donald's eldest daughter. During the 2016 inauguration, Melania was reportedly involved in Operation Block Ivanka, a behind-the-scenes effort to keep Ivanka out of key photo opportunities. Their rivalry, though subtle, became a point of public speculation. Her marriage to Donald Trump also raised questions. Donald Trump's infidelity, including affairs with Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal, dominated headlines. Yet Melania never publicly addressed the allegations. According to sources, she often dealt with such scandals by retreating from public life, focusing instead on her son. Even their living arrangements reflected a certain distance. In the White House, the Trumps reportedly slept in separate bedrooms, a setup that mirrored their life in Trump Tower. Biographers described their relationship as one of convenience, with Melania maintaining her independence while fulfilling her public role. Despite her reserved demeanor, Melania occasionally revealed glimpses of her personality. Secret recordings of her former aide, Stephanie Winston Wolkoff, showed her frustration with the expectations placed on her. In one instance, she vented about being criticized for planning White House Christmas decorations, famously saying, "Who effing cares about Christmas?" while her husband's policies were under fire. To many, Melania was an enigma, a woman navigating the spotlight while fiercely guarding her privacy. Behind closed doors, she built a life focused on her son and the few people she trusted, even as the world outside speculated endlessly about her every move. For Melania, life behind the scenes was her way of finding balance, a quiet refuge from the chaos of public life. But her journey was far from over, as the challenges of life after the White House awaited her. When Donald Trump's presidency ended in January 2021, Melania Trump quietly stepped away from the public eye, while her husband remained in the spotlight, often dominating headlines. Melania retreated to Mar-a-Lago, their sprawling Florida estate. For Melania, Mar-a-Lago offered something the White House couldn't: privacy. Surrounded by close family and trusted staff, she focused on raising Barron, ensuring he had a stable environment amidst the chaos of his father's political and legal battles. In 2024, Melania faced a personal tragedy with the passing of her mother, Amalijah. Known for her grace and resilience, Amalijah had been a cornerstone in Melania's life. Her death marked a somber chapter, with Melania paying tribute to her mother's strength and devotion. While Melania preferred a quiet life, the shadows of public scrutiny never fully disappeared. She made rare appearances at political events, often sparking speculation about her role in Donald Trump's life and campaigns. Despite being seen alongside him, insiders described her as largely uninvolved in his political aspirations, choosing instead to focus on family. Even as her husband faced legal challenges and criminal indictments, Melania remained steadfastly private, rarely commenting on the controversy surrounding him. Instead, she maintained a close-knit circle, avoiding the spotlight whenever possible. For many, her retreat from public life only deepened the mystery surrounding her. Was Melania Trump a reluctant figure in the life she never truly chose? Or was she quietly navigating a path on her own terms? As history continues to shape her legacy, one thing remains certain: Melania Trump's journey is as enigmatic as the woman herself. From her humble beginnings in Slovenia to the grandeur of the White House, her life has been a story of transformation, resilience, and contradictions. And so the question lingers: was Melania Trump a tragic figure caught in circumstances beyond her control, or a woman who mastered the art of quiet strength in the face of relentless challenges? Her story may seem like it has reached its conclusion, but as history has shown with Melania Trump, there's always more than meets the eye.